But yeah, that's about all I had written down on this subject. But I just thought like, um, yeah, the last time I heard about Hooters was at least a decade ago, and now I'm hearing about the restaurant shutting down. So I just
Mhm.
wanted to know what your thoughts are on that.
Well, well, from a business standpoint, if something's going on with your business, that either means that either tastes have changed, it could have been, again, with the atmosphere,
Hmm.
but then it could also be the food, because if they have to change or maybe they went below their normal grade with food for a good while,
Ah,
it could be a point where they just got complacent and they're like, oh, just on their own. They'll
yeah,
like it could be complacency. It could just be the fact that they need to change because maybe palate tastes are changing.
yeah,
I'd imagine with more diverse people going in the States and whatnot, which it's not only in the States here, but with more diverse cultures and whatnot, there's probably a change in the palate. At least, I don't know. That's another explanation to give.
yeah.
And what was considered good way back when could be considered utter garbage.
Yes.
So it could just be they need to change their food menu, but it could just be, you know, change in times.
Yeah. That like it just doesn't appeal to the to the general public. And I don't want to use the word millennials, but that is the word that the article uses specifically. But
Uh,
that seems to be the two extremes is millennials and baby boomers.
filthy M word.
Yeah. I mean, like, Adam Conover made a video a while ago about how millennials basically don't exist, and yeah, it was just it's a word made up by the older generation to disparage the younger generation. Anyone born after, on or after 1980 or 1981.
Hmm.
So if it's yeah, and he Adam Conover even describes himself as a millennial.
Hmm.
It's to me the word is weird because it's saying the word millennial makes me think born after the year 2000 or on or near the year 2000.
It's like raised as a child around the 2000s. I can
Yeah.
get that. But then some are like from the 80s. I'm like,
Yeah.
at that point, they're adults. They're
Yeah.
not, I don't know.
Like 80s kids, 90s kids, well, maybe 90s kids. Like I want to say start at 90s 95's kids cuz like around 5 years old, that's when you start watching TV. That's when you start getting uh into the popular media. That's when you start talking with the other kids around the school about, that cartoon that you saw last night.
Hmm. I don't know. I mean, when they brought me home, the first thing I did was watch TV. Probably not the best thing, but yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It depends on what shows. There are some really nice shows out there. One of my friends was talking about like children's shows or children's music to like what's a good song what are some good songs to let children listen to. And the first thing that came to mind was Marlo Thomas and Friends' "Free to Be You and Me,"
Hmm.
and like we talked about Sharon, Lois, and Bram, and just all the old stuff that we used to watch when we were kids. The Elephant Show, Lamb Chop and Friends.
Hmm. I used to watch the living daylights out of Rugrats
Oh
and
yeah.
the Little Bear.
All right.
But yeah, mostly if it wasn't Rugrats or the other, I didn't like it. So me being it, I think at least past seven. If it wasn't Rugrats or later on it was SpongeBob as well, I'm like, I don't like it.
Yeah. I think for me the show that was the most extreme was Ren and Stimpy.
Oh yeah.
And then shows started getting more and more extreme after that with Beavis and Butthead,
I
and
remember my dad used to watch that. He we had two TVs in the house, which one was in my parents' room, which obviously I did hardly watch that one, but the other was in the living room, and my dad tends to just watch whatever's on TV, and he purposely just kind of watched Beavis and Butthead in front of like 3, 4-year-old little me.
yeah.
I do remember that.
And then there was South Park, and I was starting to get out of the like extreme show. It started wearing thin on me, but my sister was totally into it.
I think my dad. Well, yeah, my dad watched South Park when it started too. Remember?
But yeah, I'm just getting some of the references that people make to that to South Park and Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill, and some of the later Ren and Stimpies.
Yeah. I know this is more towards children's ones, but also going back, I remember actually understanding some of the jokes in Rugrats. Like,
Yeah.
you can actually understand like everything, like, and relate to some of the adult jokes and whatnot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to go back and just. I want to watch some of the tapes that I have. Because there were times when there was like marathons
Oh
of
wow.
it, and I had like the 8 volts tape recorded of some of those episodes.
All right.
So I'm like, okay, that'd be an interesting thing to do actually. Even look at commercials.
Let's see. Oh, let's see. Just to get back on topic, there was there was another thing that struck me about seeing a Hooters article in the morning, and that was that back when I had heard about the restaurant before, or when I like around the time that people were talking about it, it was very like I had a very much like ew, that's nasty, it's a horrible kind of business thing. And then these days I'm trying to be more like sex positive when people mention sex or when there's an issue surrounding sex in society. I try to be more more neutral or encouraging and less shaming and less sex taboo about it. And yeah, that's mainly why I wanted to see like what could they do if someone wanted to do a like a sexy fun establishment of any sort, whether it's food or not, that like what comes to mind. And that's where those the idea of like basically what we've talked about here has come up, and I've taken a couple of notes while we were discussing it. So for one, improve the food.
Yes, and listen to customer comments.
Yes. 2, equal opportunity staff, males and females, wide and thin, strong and agile, just all shapes, all sizes. They all deserve to be sexy.
I guess there's a way you could separate it too. Say like if you have like a girl side and a guy side for.
Oh yeah. Or when they enter the restaurant, greet them and just say like maybe there's a couple of like questions you could ask to get to sort of figure out their preferences, or just ask them straight up, who would you like to serve you today? And I mean, you can go into a restaurant and ask if a certain server is there, like if you've been served by them before, or if like is Christy working today, that kind of thing.
Christy is not working today. But
And the third point, make lines clear between staff and customers, whether they're allowed to date, whether they're not, whether customers are being flirty because it's their job, or they're trying to, you know, they're learning how to be charming or whatnot, that kind of thing. I think there's like over here there might be an actual law against a worker dating a client, but there's still that stipulation that if it's after their shift and you just happen to be going the same way, then well, there's nothing we can do about that now, can we? That kind of thing. So if you establish an agreement, then that's totally cool. It's just don't date on work hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So hopefully, if this I want sex positivity to proliferate throughout society. Maybe Hooters isn't the best way to do it, but I mean, these are the ideas that I can put forth if they want to.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for speaking with me today. We have spent 23 minutes. I think this has made this my longest vlog yet.
Yes.
Hopefully people will stick around to listen to it. It's about sex, so
Sidetracking included.
yes.
Go from this to like cartoons and then
I'm gonna have to re-listen to find out. I think it had something to do with like being accepted into society. Or no, wait, the jokes and the attitudes of millennials. Yeah.
Okay.
So how we grew up and what sort of media influenced our thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks again for joining me, and hope to see you again next time.
Mm-hmm.